He not gonna apply it in his life, man. He gonna continue doing what he doing, man. Okay? That's a foolish virgin, in other words. Okay? That's a foolish one. Okay? This Matthew 25:3. And they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. They didn't value it, man. They didn't apply it. Matter of fact, we're gonna look that up to prove my point. Okay, the word took, right? It's Greek. Lambano. Lambano, right? That's the Greek word for it. Lambano. It's 2983 in the Greek. Lambano, right? And it says to take with the hand, to lay hold of any person or thing in order to use it. So they didn't apply the scriptures when they heard it. Okay? They took it, meaning they heard it, okay? But they didn't apply the scriptures and use it, man, in their daily life. Okay? Which they not gonna do. They gonna continue in the world, man. Just like Waka Flocka and just like Kendrick Lamar. They continuing in the world. And you get Jakes that come by and listen and ask questions, and they hear it, but they not gonna apply it, man, because it's not mixed with faith, man, for them to apply it, man. So they are the foolish ones. They are foolish virgins. Okay? Amongst the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay? This is Matthew 25 and 3. I read it again. For they that were foolish took their lamps, meaning the word, and took no oil with them. So they heard it, but they didn't apply it, man. They didn't apply this word, man, like they were supposed to. But the wise applied it, man. They kept looking out for YAHAWASHI. They feared the word, and they applied these scriptures in their daily life and watched for the prophecies, man. And the ones that was called to do this, right? The ones that was called to do this, they out here teaching, man. And them guys that stood up before, the guys that stood up before us, the Most High was calling them, man. But they were foolish virgins. He was calling them out of the world, right? This Romans 10 and 17. So then faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. So they heard the word, but did they have faith? No. Because they didn't apply it. They took the word, but they didn't have faith. They didn't apply it. Okay? Romans 10 and 17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. Hebrews right? Hebrews 3 and 16. Hebrews 3 and 16. For some, now this Paul going back. Now this Paul going back into the history about Now you got some people say that Paul wrote the book of Hebrews, and then you got some people say that Timothy wrote the book of Hebrews. Okay? But in mine, at the heading, mine in the heading, it got Paul. Okay? But in the 1611, I want to say it got Timothy at the end of it. I want to say. Okay? But still it's the word of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. And since mine say Paul at the top, I'm going to say Paul said this. Okay? This Hebrews 3 and 16. For some, when they have heard, did provoke. So, just like during the time of Moses, you had Israelites provoke, meaning they became rebellious when you look that up. Okay? They became rebellious. And they didn't take heed to the miracles of what was going on during the deliverance of Israel. They didn't take heed, man. They didn't care, man. Okay? They did what they wanted to do. They wanted to do. So they were being rebellious, man, against Yahawah. Okay? They were being rebellious against Yahawah. Now, on this time, when Paul is speaking, they're being rebellious against YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. And then they being rebellious against the word, because it's not, they getting all them chances to get themselves together, but they being rebellious, man. No matter how you look at it, they don't have faith, man. So they became foolish, man. Okay? This Hebrews 3 and 16. For some, when they have heard, did provoke. How about not all that came out of Egypt by Moses? So some did be rebellious, okay? Some did be rebellious and some didn't, just like you got today. Okay, this is spiritually known as Egypt, okay? And Sodom, when you read Revelation, the 11th chapter, okay? It's spiritually known, America, okay? This Hebrews 3 and 16. For some, when they had heard, did provoke. How about not all that came out of Egypt by Moses? Okay? Verse 17. But with whom he was grieved 40 years. Now when you look up that word grieve, let's look up that word grieve, man. So let's see how Moses was feeling about the one that was rebellious, man. Let's see how Moses was feeling about the one that was rebellious. That came out of Egypt. Right? And I'm looking up that word grieve, and that's a Greek word. That's a Greek word, 4360. Right? Prosakliso, right? And it says, to be wroth or displeased with, to lofty. Man, basically, when you look up that word, it means to hate, okay? To spew out, to be disgusted with. So, when Israel was, when YAHAWAH was delivered out of Egypt, and Moses was grieved with the one that was rebellious, okay, provoking, right? He was disgusted with them. And that's the same way we are disgusted with the Israelites who are foolish, man. When it comes to this word, man, we are disgusted with them, man. Okay? We are displeased with them. Okay? Those foolish virgins. Okay? Same way, same spirit, man. Same spirit. We are disgusted with them, man. Displeased, man. Okay? all this time we spend out here through the Spirit on Saturdays, you know, we could be doing other things. But through the Spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, He had bestowed on us to come out here and teach, right? And be that sacrifice, man. So we could be going out partying and which I don't club, you know, I never was in that, but I'm just making an example of different things that Jake do in this wicked society, okay? We could be going out, you know, be with our old ladies, you know, for the brothers who got women, because not all brothers got women while they in this truth, okay? But I'm speaking for the brothers who got them, okay? We could be taking our kids to the park or doing whatever with our kids, and not all brothers got kids in this truth. But I'm speaking to the brothers who got kids. We can be at work, you know, making more money, getting overtime, and I'm speaking for the brothers who got a job, so some brothers don't got a job in this truth, okay? For the brothers who can relate, okay? We can be chasing our so-called dream, okay, in the world, but the Most High have taken us away from that through the Spirit and power of YAHAWASHI and got us out here teaching His word, man. You know, this Hebrews 3 and 16, for some when they had heard did provoke, right? Meaning became rebellious, being rebellious when you look it up. How about not all that came out of Egypt by Moses, but with whom he was grieved 40 years. Question. So Moses had to be displeased with them Israelites, them foolish virgins, for 40 years, man. Okay? Was it not with them that had sinned, whose carcasses fell in the wilderness? And you can read about that in Numbers 14 and 21st verse. Numbers chapter 14 and the 21st verse on down. So you can read about their history, man. So that's what Paul was going back to. He was giving you an example of what happened in the wilderness with Israel, man. Okay? With Yasharahla, man. Okay? Verse 18. And to whom swore he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not. So, not having faith, they didn't enter into Jerusalem, okay, the land of Canaan at that time, which was their rest. The Most High destroyed them, man, okay, because they were rebellious, okay. And then Caleb and Joshua had a whole nother spirit. So you would consider them as wise virgins, man. Okay? Judah and Ephraim. You would consider them as wise virgins back then. But that's what it was. You had Joshua and Caleb. Okay? Judah and Ephraim. Okay? Verse 18. This is Hebrews 3:18. And to whom swore he that they should not enter into his rest, but to them that believe not. Question. Verse 19. So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief. So not having faith and applying these scriptures and watching, that's the example shown right here that the foolish virgins is not going to enter into the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay? I'm going to jump down to Hebrews 4 and 2. For unto us was the gospel preached as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. So amongst the nation of Israel, those foolish virgins, they're not mixed with faith to apply these scriptures and to believe on YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. Okay? They took the oil, but they didn't use it. Okay?